It's Nolan.
Slow down, slow down.
Yeah,
Slow down,
J Nolan.
slow down.
I was thrown into the fast life, past life, full of distractions like my dad's life. Till I studied another practice in this pandemic. Unemployed, looking for joy, trying to fill a void. So many spirits been destroyed. The cuss and the hustle, till we get humble. Cold world, got to dress in bundles. Product of struggle, bag fumble. But I got off the sidelines, overviewing my guidelines. Open my mind's eye, jump to my fate, I'm screaming bonsai. Whoa, take your time, learn the lesson, realize. A moment's notice could lead us to the skies. Lies over the tube, books tell us the wrong dates and times. That's indication we should focus on family ties. It's such a crazy world. Can't nobody tell the future in the rush for that destination to show up in a stupid. It's how we maneuver, but I reckon the change coming. Whether or not we get it, I just had to say something. Yeah.
Life is too short, gotta treasure. Love yours, cause ain't nothing better. Don't believe the hype is a setup. Run your own lane, keep your head up. Slow down, slow down. Slow down, slow down. Slow down.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everyone's doing well out there. In this particular video, we're going to be getting into Miss Ari Lennox, okay? She's been having a rough year. Ever since last year, really, it's been a little rough for Ari. Seems like the business has gotten the best of her. She no longer really wants to be out here. I'm sure she enjoys the process of creating music. I think as a musician, as a creative, you always have the bug of like creating and wanting to, get your ideas out. But it seems the longer that she's been in the music industry, the less she's interested in like coming out and being accessible to us as the people, the fans. She's had rough experience. Last year she went out on tour with I think it was Rod Wave, and she said that Rod Wave had the most demonic crowd that she ever experienced during that tour. For whatever reason, they paired her with him. He was, Rod Wave is one of the top newer artists. He's not new, but out of the like next generation of artists, he's like one of the hottest ones. So they linked that tour together, and she completely hated the experience, right? The entire time. But she did it because she needed the money. Matter of fact, she didn't even want to be a part of that tour, but she needed the money, right? So once that tour was over, she went on a hiatus. She also talked about, her journey to sobriety, which also took place within the last year. So she's been undergoing a lot of different personal transformations and having to navigate what does that look like while still being a part of the music industry and fulfilling your obligations to the companies and the people that have invested into you, right? Well, in the midst of that, it's been a rough couple days for Miss Ari, right? Number one, she had to cancel a show. I believe it was in LA. And it was due to poor ticket sales, right? So they say Ari Lennox announced she was forced to cancel her upcoming Los Angeles concert because she struggled to fill seats. Now remember, she also has a bit of tax trouble. She's in debt to the IRS, although they have not been, actively like coming down on her. She's not at risk of getting locked up or anything like that, but she does owe them a significant amount of money, and she's on a payment plan to get it worked out. She came out and expressed this to us earlier this year. She talked about how you're going to see her coming outside a little bit more because she needs to get caught up in, whatever she owes. And that's an easy mistake that you can make as an independent contractor, right? Your taxes are not automatically deducted from your money, especially when you're doing shows. There's typically a wire up front, and then your back end typically at the show is in like cash, and then you have to like deposit it into your bank, but you got to set aside that money to make sure that you're paying your taxes and get that over to the IRS, however you're going to do that, right? But a lot of people, you can get swept up and think that you're setting that money aside, but when your tour is over, how many people are going to go in and send, those hundreds of thousands of dollars? And who can even send hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, like in a significant WAP? Like, I don't know. I ain't in that position yet. But whatever the case is, she's behind and trying to catch up, right? So she said she's going to be coming outside to collect on some of the money so that she can break even. Well, with all of that going, her trying to come outside, she had a show a few days ago that was supposed to come to fruition, and unfortunately it didn't, and it wasn't able to, right? They say the pressure hitmaker recently spent a lot of time on Instagram Live chopping it up with her fans, although she appeared to deactivate her account following her announcement. On Tuesday, Ari Lennox decided to break the bad news about her LA concert. She says, I'm going to just tell y'all here, the Los Angeles show is canceled. We just couldn't sell tickets, so that's my life right now. Hopefully things will change once I drop the music, drop the album. They say Lennox admitted the news came to her as a blow to her because I take everything personally. That's a quote from her. She says, you're only as good as the music you put out. Right? Furthermore, they state, nonetheless, Ari remains confident that she can sell tickets in specific regions, particularly at home in Washington, D.C., right? So she says, I have a feeling there are certain markets. If I did a show right now, I will be okay. I feel like I can always count on D.C. That's probably where I mess up every time. I don't do enough shows in D.C. I just don't, and I need to, okay? So that's directly from Ari. She needs to catch up on what she owes, and unfortunately she feels like she's making the wrong moves. Perhaps she shouldn't have went to LA. She probably should have went to DC, hometown, where they may have shown up. But nonetheless, the overarching theme is that Ari Lennox is burnt the fuck out. And I don't mean burnt out like in the terms of like West Coast where they say you burnt out, they're making a joke on you. I mean the literal sense, as in she's burnt out. She's been out here for a very long time. She recently came out and talked about how she was competing to go on American Idol and different shows. And she was tied to a record label at that time, or a fake management contract that really held no credence as far as legally. But she was under the impression that it was. She couldn't move forward with her career. And that prolonged her process, right? Because she could have, you never know, she might have blown up on American Idol many years ago. But since that was cut off because she didn't think she could move forward, and she was being very forthcoming to the producers about her situation, they say, hey, if you're in a pre-existing contract, we can't take you. So that ended up making her process longer, to where she had to be discovered in a different way. So she's been out here busting her ass, hustling, trying to get to the stage that she's at for a very long time. Now that she has it, right? This is a common theme in the music industry and just entertainment period, or just life, is that the thing that you work so hard for, the thing that you've invested so much into yourself to become, once you finally get there and see what everything is, like, oh my God, I made it to Dreamland or Dreamville. But the dream has now become a nightmare because now you're a slave to the industry. Or you're a slave to the expectations of the industry, I should say more specifically, because now you have to produce. We invested X amount of dollars in you. We need you to go out here and sell X amount of records. If you can't sell X amount of records, you're going to be in debt to the label. We may not re-up and give you another budget for you to live on, right? We may not put another project out on you. We invested too much into that last single. It didn't perform enough. I mean, I feel like Pressure was a very popular song. They should be ready for her to come out with some new music, right? But then on the other side of it is she ready to come out with more music, right? Because she ain't been busting nobody doors down to release. So there's the crux. You take a break, you come back, and the public ain't chirping on your line the way that they used to, right? And that's another tough piece, right? Because in this game, visibility is your trump card. And I hate to use that nigga's name. But that's your superpower. visibility, accessibility, do the shows, put more music out, do the interviews, do the meet and greets, which all pulls at your energy. If this is not your natural element, if you're not really an extroverted person like that, you're probably going to get social anxiety in these settings. It's going to drain you twice to 3 times more just getting up to go do it. You're going to feel like defeated before you even go. I know this because I suffer with it myself a little bit. I love performing. I love recording and being around people, but only when it's being around the people that I want to be around. You know what I'm saying? Then when it's like, damn, I really got to do this. I agreed to this shit. All right, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And then you get up there and it's great. But then afterwards, your energy is depleted because you just put on a show. You got up there and you sweated your motherfucking life out. Then you got to try to go find something to eat. You're going to go somewhere healthy. You're going to go get some garbage food that's quick. You're not going to replenish your energy that way. Then if you're somebody who is partaking in, the spirits, like you taking in liquor. She had an issue with drinking. That's depleting you even further, right? I think she's also taking a break from weed. I couldn't tell you the experience in smoking weed because I never have. I never will. But I'm sure some people out there would know weed can make you sleepy. I've seen it, right? So all of these things just pulling at your energy. But you still got to produce. You still got to, you know what I mean? Some people are better at it than others. Other people are better at putting the facade on, making it seem like they want to do shit and they care. But she is basically saying the facade is gone. So you get that. Then she comes out and makes this post on Instagram stating that she's going to take a break from social media as a whole. And social media is something that you can control, right? You can automate posts. You could get a social media team behind you. You could hire people to run it for you. She says, nah, I'm out this bitch. Right? So here's what Ari had to say about social media. Hold on, y'all. She says, hey, I'm working on a plan to transition off of social media for good. I don't believe I'll ever mature and be happy as long as I have it. That's an interesting statement to me. She says, I don't believe I'll ever mature and be happy as long as I have it. So she feels like social media is stagnating her growth as a person. I'm sure it's doing the same to a lot of people, but it's just interesting to hear it coming from her. So my last days of socials will be December 18th, my 2-year sobriety anniversary, right? So she's giving herself till right before holiday season, right before Christmas season specifically. I'll be deleting my Facebook. Deleting? Whoa! Now that's, as an artist, completely deleting? How's your label feel about that? Anyway, let's keep going. I will be deleting my Facebook, IG, and TikTok permanently. The fear of losing brand deals, music sales, niggas, and bitches will no longer keep me here. Wow. To all of my beautiful fans, I'm just not happy nor thriving here. I have a very toxic and codependent relationship with these apps. My happiness is worth more to me than using these platforms to promote. I truly believe I can get creative with marketing elsewhere. I'm so exhausted with my addiction to the internet and gossip and attention and validation and yearning to be in control and oversharing. I just want to be free and complete. I would like to offer other spaces where you can find me, and that's youtube.com/Ari Lennox. Okay, that's workable. YouTube is a very interesting community where you can grow. I'm sure, I believe this is where she was discovered by Cole. So I just wonder what that means. Is she going to be creating content? Is it going to be vlogs? Is it going to be podcasts, like personal life? Or is she really going to be present on YouTube? Because YouTube is a lot to maintain as well, especially if that's your primary place where people are coming to find you. You're going to have to still put on your cape, you know what I'm saying, and be super Ari for your fans, even when you don't have to be. you still got to show up and do the things that you don't want to do. You know what I mean? So it's going to be tough. And she says, and AriLennox.com and on the singing stage or outside. I ain't going to front like this has been cute. It hasn't. I love y'all so much. Please subscribe to my mailing list on my website to remain updated on my 2025 album and tour, or don't. My single Smoke drops on October 18th. So she does have a new single that's about to drop this week. Gonna be interesting to see what that's hitting on. I hope it does well for her. You know, maybe could carry her into, you know, the next run of dates to where people are interested in, you know, she's not underselling at venues. Because that's, to be honest, a lot of artists all year have been underselling at venues, right? Last 2 years, as a matter of fact, artists have been canceling shows left and right, telling people there's technical difficulties, talking about how they, you know, they're coming up with different reasons. But a lot of artists are either one, underselling, or some artists are in the same boat as Ari Lennox and are completely burnt the fuck out, but can't tell you that. We had Lil Durk come out. I think he was dehydrated. You know, he was hospitalized. Now, I think that could have something to do with some of the substances he uses, right, to keep himself going. But many people have fallen victim to the same. Y'all remember when Lil Wayne was out here having seizures? Rick Ross was out here having seizures. They was on that lean, but they were also on tour, moving about. The shit is exhausting. So this is definitely not like an isolated event. This shit is happening every day to a lot of people. Big pop stars are canceling tours. She says, also, my bad if my drama causes any distractions or insensitivity, as I'm aware of the constant horror going on in the world. I just need to give my sweeties a heads up, I'll be good and I'm excited for this journey. I'm an extreme person. It will forever be all or nothing with me. Ari/Courtney. She put her real name on display to say, hey, this the real me, baby. I gotta go. And I respect it. I understand it. I just hope that it doesn't work counterintuitively against her in her career to where it'll be complicated for her to come back and make an impact. That's the only thing. You know what I'm saying? I hope that her labels, because not only is she signed to Dreamville, but I believe she's a Sony artist as well. Nah, even worse than Sony, she's an Interscope artist, which is, of course, a subsidiary of UMG, which, if y'all been paying attention all year, UMG is undergoing a lot of changes. They have a lot of big game partnerships going on. The fact that we see artists dropping music, the biggest rappers in the game dropping music directly to Instagram, is not a coincidence. I came on here and told y'all about Universal's deal directly with Meta, Facebook, and Instagram. So that's like the new wave, and they're getting Drake, Kendrick, Cole testing the waters on that, because even Cole, his deal is directly with Interscope as well, with Dreamville. So that notwithstanding, I hope that the companies behind her can respect her decision and can find ways to keep her relevant while she takes this break and hiatus. Personally, I don't know if I would advise her to delete the social media, because I guess if you deactivate, you can reactivate, but it kind of messes up your longevity. It messes up, like, even if you have like an update for a tour or whatever, if you don't want to personally post it, your label or somebody from the team could post it and do it on your behalf. So I just think, unfortunately, she says she's an extreme person, but I can totally relate. I don't like dealing with social media my damn self. I think I've gone at least a few weeks without posting. I get on every now and then. I check the temperature, but it can be too much. It can be overwhelming. It can put you in a bad space if you're comparing yourself to other people. Especially if you're a signed artist in the game and you're seeing what so many other artists are doing and you're seeing them going out and having success, and then you're trying to do something and it's not really working out for you. It could definitely put you in a depressive state of mind. So I get that as well. It's so many different factors that could factor in, right? But although I hope she is able to overcome it, I also hope that people understand where she's coming from, and I think that it's a good thing that she's being transparent about it, because there's so many people that take social media hiatuses. There's so many people that feel overwhelmed. There's so many people out there that get missing, and it's one of those things that is kind of a weird subject to talk about, because people will look at you like, all right, you left social media, what's the point? They don't really understand. But nonetheless, all things set aside, I hope that I hope that she's good. I hope that she will be good, and that maybe things could take an upswing for her in 2025. Hopefully they could find those alternative marketing strategies that could keep her out there. But the burnout is real. I get it. Some days I don't want to fucking talk on YouTube. Some days I only make one video. Some days I've had to live off of shit. But let me just cut out some shit from yesterday, because today is not happening. Got family. I got other shit going on. Right? Got a child. Hey, bro, it's not happening today. Lately, I've been able to kind of minimize that, but it is real. And we all face it, no matter what career path we're in, no matter what our hobbies are, our skills, or what have you. Burnout is real, especially if you're not taking out the proper amount of time to just focus on yourself, your well-being, your peace, your mental health. Yes, those things sound cliche, but that shit is valid. And if you don't believe it, you will see it for yourself one day, okay? Let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming, I swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.